Hey guys, Omni here. We are back with episode 4 of season 2 of The Mandalorian, chapter 12. Make sure that you are subscribed because we are following this each week, among other things, trying to keep up with all things Star Wars, DC, Marvel, anything of major fandom note. So, guys, I really appreciate the support, but my God, last episode was mind blowing. It was fantastic, and just seeing Bo-Katan in the flesh and the Night Owls in live action, just oh my God, was like the most fangasm moment of the year so far, at least right now that immediately comes to mind. Yeah, just the second you see the coloration and the armor, and that's when you know it's something so iconic. You don't even have to get a clear view of it. Just like when you recognize the vague colorations of a specific set of armor, the shape, the look, and then you see the design of the helmet itself, and you just lose it, man. And then just to take off the helmet, to just add a whole other layer to it, the voice herself, Katie Sackhoff, playing her in the role on the screen, it just brings it all together. And it ties in The Mandalorian into its season 1 finale with the Darksaber and Moff Gideon, with her, of course, as we said back then, which you can check out my reaction for that, is still on the channel, though questionable quality compared to right now. That her involvement in the series was inevitable by them introducing the Darksaber, because you have to acknowledge its previous owner, which last time we saw was Bo-Katan. So it was likely, it was pretty much guaranteed we were going to see her at some point. And some interviews with Katie Sackhoff seems to imply that is definitely not the last time we are going to see her in this series. So I don't know about, maybe this might be the last time we've seen her this season. I doubt it. I'm sure we'll see her again towards the end of this season, or maybe just a little bit down the road. I know that based on some conversations, at least with Giancarlo Esposito, that they've got storylines kind of planned out for from season 2 to season 3 and a season 4. So I don't know how long they plan on keeping Gideon around, but I think that kind of that could, depending on how they pace out that storyline with the Darksaber, with Mandalore, with Gideon, they could easily hold off Katie Sackhoff for another couple of seasons whenever it finally comes time to really take it to Gideon and get the Darksaber. But yeah, she's after it, man. I like this scene more of the Imperials, these fringe groups that are still clinging on, and you see how devoted they truly are, especially when you have like this new universe version, the Star Wars universe version of like the cyanide pills, where he just bites down on that molar and it just electrocutes his brain, man. It just shows the commitment that some of these people still have to this failed, doomed empire. And it's, I don't know, it adds a fun little layer to it. And then just the action. Bryce Dallas Howard nailed the action in that episode. For being one of the shortest episodes of the season so far, it felt packed to the brim with just things happening. Like, by the time it was over, I felt like a 50-minute episode had went by, and I don't know what voodoo magic was going on there, but it won me over, man. And seeing them just take that ship with just the 4 of them, honestly, the way it went down, even though they gave Mando that one moment to go down the hallway with those mines to tank a lot of those hits, I feel like, honestly, they probably could have made that a 3-man job and it's still been okay. But it was just seeing 4 Mandalorians just go all out. It's just so beautiful and well done. And oh my God. You know what? That episode also proved that no matter how inclusive you are, no matter how open of a mind you have and accepting of a person you can be, the number 1 rule in Star Wars is you still never trust a Corran. God damn, do they just like always fails to like uphold any standard of truth, honesty, and integrity. Anyway, it's just so funny that they made the Korans the bad guys yet again, and untrustworthy yet again in a Star Wars piece of media. Anyway, guys, I've talked enough about last episode. We got the setup for Ahsoka making her appearance in later episodes, which I guarantee we're not going to see her whatsoever in this episode. Maybe like a final shot at the end, but I doubt we'll see her at all in this episode, since we know that episode 5 is directed by Dave Filoni. If his Star Wars daughter is going to be anything handled by anybody, it's going to be Dave. So I don't think we'll see Ahsoka whatsoever in this episode. If we do, that'll be a pleasant surprise, but I think we're going to get her next episode. They seem to be sparsing out these big character reveal episodes. Boba, break. Katan, break. Ahsoka, break. I think that's going to be our pattern for this season, but that's just my thoughts. We're 6 minutes in. We haven't started the reaction. We're going to go ahead and dive into this and dive right in. So here we go.
Okay.
Dude.
Do you have the wire? Did you get the wire out? The red wire.
This is not a good idea.
Show me the red wire.
No.
The red one. Yes, good.
Oh.
Put the red wire where the blue wire goes in the board. Okay? But don't let them touch. They're oppositely charged, so keep them away from each other. Make sure you hold them apart from... No, hold them apart.
Why did you think that was going to work?
Are you okay?
Oh. Oh my God.
Shot. I think we need to visit some friends for repairs. So how'd you like to go back to Navarro?
All right. We're going to get a little pit stop for some, maybe some proper ship repair. Just get a new ship, man. Some people have moved into the armorer's old, hideout. No! Hey! It's the Marshal. That's cool. She's Navarro's Marshal now. Is this Carl Weathers' episode? Like his directorial debut? He was saying that his episode is chock full of action.
Okay,
The Siege. Well, that doesn't sound good. The hell's getting sieged in this episode? Dude, it looks even worse in just the bright sunlight. The landing deck can't even go all the way down.
Looks like someone could use some repairs. Hey, fellas, let's fix this man's ship. I want it as good as new. Go on.
I don't know what that look was about.
your ship's not looking
It's like a
too good.
whole different vibe than before.
They should leave the outer rim alone.
Oh, there's like a monument to IG.
One of the 5 major trade routes in the galaxy. Yes. the
Oh, it's
highway
like a
road,
school.
that is correct.
Oh my.
School?
The correct
Things have changed a lot around here. He'll be fine here. You have my word.
the core worlds. However, there are several other the capital of the Old Republic was within the core.
Always with the food. Aw. Just rolls into town and starts stealing.
There's no registration on the
Hey!
ship, but Magistrate Cargo was generous enough to let me work off my debt. Thank you, by the way.
350 years, but who's counting?
If he runs off on you again,
God
let me
damn.
know.
I do not want to spend any more time in carbonite. Still can't see out of my left eye.
At least they're acknowledging it's still not perfect. Since he's so blind in an eye.
It's an old Imperial base.
It's where all those troops came from when we defeated Moff Gideon. This base has
Ah.
been here since the Imperial expansion.
If we could take out that one last base, Navarro would be completely safe. We could be a trade anchor for the entire sector.
And the planet would finally be free.
What are we looking at?
All right, we got a base infiltration. Excited.
How close do you want me to drop you off?
But the front door.
It's a little close for a civilian, don't you think? Or
Or I leave you out here in the lava flats to walk home with whatever's left in your humidity vest.
Humidity vest. It's a new thing,
we can't
or at
go
least
further than this.
that I've heard or recall. Our weathers looks good in red. I like that outfit.
Controls are useless, they're melted. Hold tight.
Look, it's a mint truckster Marauder. You know how much we can get for this on the black market?
And it's gonna get vaporized like the rest of this base. Now let's go.
Speeder bikes. And there's a lot of loot in here. Just saying.
The security feed just went down. Can you check your relay hub?
I've been seeing quite a lot of Imperials without an accent. It's weird.
I found the heat shaft. Let's go.
All right, she's gonna blow. Let's go, let's get out of here.
All right. Let's boogie.
How long do we have?
10 minutes at most.
You know, if this is where Gideon's reinforcements were, or maybe even where Gideon was stationed before the whole event on Navarro, like, there might be some information that they can glean out of this base. See, they were trying to destroy something. What is this? Clones? Cloning?
I thought you said this was a forward operating base.
I thought it was.
I don't like this.
Pardon me.
Oh. It's the scientist from the first season.
Effects for an entire fortnight, but then sadly the body rejected the blood. I highly doubt we'll find a donor with a higher M count though. I recommend that we suspend
M
all
count.
experimentation. I fear that the volunteer will meet the same regrettable fate if we proceed with the transfusion. The child is small and I was only able to harvest a limited amount without killing him. Experiments are to continue as requested. We would again require access to the donor.
This must be an old transmission. Moff Gideon
They're
is dead.
trying to keep the Emperor alive.
This recording
They need a high M count midichlorians
Gideon's alive.
for a strong Force user. It's either for Gideon to keep Gideon alive, or for the Emperor to set up their experiments on Force bodies, which is probably going to be how they made Snoke.
I need to get the kid.
Jet back, you're faster that way. We'll head to the speeder and meet you in town.
At least that's my thoughts right now. Dude, his pistol is fucking awesome. Dude, Beskar is just awesome, man. You got some Beskar armor, you are set.
Seriously considering going over.
You're on Fast and Furious, this bitch. Oh, his speeder, dude. I mean, it's a bit of an upgrade. Oh, yeah, speeder chase! I love the sound of these bikes, man. Oh, wow, they... I mean, it is difficult terrain. They just didn't roll high enough.
One down.
Ugh. That landing.
I've lost him.
Not having like some kind of blast shield or something like that is on the windows is not very safe for a vehicle, like a war vehicle. Oh no. Oh, the poor dude. Ah, he's Imperial, it's fine. Where? Shit, dude. Hopefully they're just like bailing completely. Oh, shit. Well, nope. They're coming. Come on. Come on. Oh my god, dude. They need to be thankful for this canyon. Oh, well, there goes their turret. And these ties can't aim for shit. The fuck was that? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, that old rusted bucket of bolts got it. Oh, the freaking cookies. He's so cute. It looks a lot shinier and fixed up than when it arrived. Did they already fix it? Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. Yeah! God, these pilots were trash, man. TIE fighters are supposed to be speedy little things. Oh, no.
Oh boy.
Aside from getting him electrocuted this episode, it's good dadding.
Then we gotta hit the road before Gideon catches wise.
That device has been planted as you requested.
I do!
You will be well
You
rewarded in the new
fuck!
era. The tracking beacon has been installed on the Razor Crest.
Does he still have the asset?
Yes, our source confirmed it.
We will be ready.
Oh, god damn it! What are those? I can't tell. It didn't look like the troopers he had with him before. This, yeah, directed by Carl Weathers. Hold on. I just want to go back. What? Are these the troopers? I don't know. It doesn't... These droids? What are these? They're... I don't know. I can't tell. They're too... Either the resolution's too off or something. I can't make out what these things are in these rows. But damn, man. That was a good episode, man. Oh, and it progressed the whole thing. It was fun seeing how Navarro's kind of evolved from the last time we saw it, you know? Having schools, having an open market, being like bright, colorful, and kind of like thriving. I like how they turned it around. And then finding that lab in that Imperial base. And we saw these experiments, which we know, of course, we had that hollow record from the Kaminoan scientist, the cloner, who was talking about they drained as much blood as they could from the child without killing it because it had a high M count, midichlorian count, for their donor, for the person that they're working for or working with, who they have not met with directly and don't have any direct samples from. And it's only going through Gideon, who is managing this whole thing. And I think I find that as further evidence that it is tying into them trying to stabilize Palpatine, creating those bodies, because the mangled body that was in those tubes did look like kind of proto Snokish kind of bodies. Then again, anything mangled or barely developed is going to look like Snoke. So who knows? Because I don't think it's for Gideon. I don't think he's the donor they're talking about. And to keep it a mystery, to see what they're going for, and for it to be somebody that needs a high enough midichlorian count, because they said that bodies that didn't have a high M count just were not holding up or lasting long. So I think what we're learning here, and this is what we theorized last season, is that the child's DNA, lineage, ability to use the Force, whatever, with that Kaminoan scientist was something to do with them replicating the ability to create a clone body that has the potential to use and wield the Force, or at least be able to contain and be used by somebody that can use the Force. Because at least historically in the legends and stuff like that, cloning Force users was a difficult and often fruitless measure, because they could clone the body but not as much. They were rarely successful in cloning the ability to use the Force until much, much later down the road, because then you had the Force bodies that Palpatine created, younger versions of himself, in which he would, essence, transfer into them after the end of Return of the Jedi, where he became a problem for Luke later in the books and such, with a younger, more powerful body, which was cloned from himself. But of course, we see the technology for cloning Force users is still barely not as what's the word I'm looking for? Stable as just normal cloning. Because even the ones that, and like they said in Rise, is that his immense power and connection to the Force, and I guess M count, causes it to drain on the bodies, because he's just too powerful a force to contain within these imperfect vessels that he's been creating for himself. So it seems like this is kind of like our stepping stone to get to that place. That's what I think. That's my theory right now. That's what my theory was in season 1. And Gideon being a Moff, having that high level of security clearance, having that high connection and rank, ties him very closely into the Emperor's inner circle. And he's still operating in these fringe Outer Rim territories. He's still building and continuing the work of the Empire. I think we're seeing the groundwork of what becomes the Sith Empire that we see. I'm sure he's probably aware, or at least in touch with, the Emperor on Exegol, and or is a starting piece of the new the First Order. I don't know. We're definitely, I think we're definitely seeing them seed the connections to the sequel trilogy more and more. Of course, we had the Force healing last season, and I think we're going to be getting a more of the backstory eventually of how Gideon, his experiments, his mission ties into validating the sequels and Palpatine's return specifically. Because one thing Dave Filoni always does is he doesn't, of course, he works for the parent company now as Disney, the current Lucasfilm. So I don't think he wouldn't do anything to invalidate any of that. If anything, he's going to be using what he knows of Star Wars and what he can, just like with the Clone Wars, how the fact that the Clone Wars themselves and Rebels expanded upon and further validated the prequels. I honestly think that's what he's doing here and trying to do for the sequel trilogy, is that very thing, using these side shows, these in between, to kind of fill and build up some of the gaps that are left in the movies themselves, to try to make everything cohesive. And I think we'll see more and more of that. Of course, now Mando's got a tracking device on his ship because can't get a break. They repaired his ship really fast. He wasn't there long. It seemed like he was only there for a few hours. But they're like, infiltration of the base was a lot of fun. Carl Weathers did a really good job. This was his directorial debut, and he definitely gave himself plenty to do in here, especially with lines, with action, and all that. It was a lot of fun to see how his banter is back and forth, him chastising his new secretary, essentially. Seeing that character Mithril come back, it was just really. It was a well done episode. The action was really cool. The way they kind of built up this plan, infiltrated this base, how they expand upon and built upon and improved Navarro. I don't know. It shows a growth and a world building in the galaxy that I really appreciate. Then we have the guy from Kim's Convenience come in, which that was something that I didn't recognize him. That's not a show I've ever seen, but like that's the non-Dave Filoni pilot from that X-Wing pair, shows up back here again. We did see 2 X-Wings, though we didn't see Dave this time around. Him trying to recruit Gina Carano into the New Republic, playing on, the pain and the loss of Alderaan. I'm curious to see what kind of development, if we'll even see it, that Gina Carano's character will get. Cara Dune will get in this. So who knows? Who knows where they're going to go? This was just a pit stop. I don't know if from what we've seen of the trailers, I think everything we've seen in the trailers of them was in this one episode. So I don't know. Is that the last we'll see of either of those two this season? Maybe, maybe not. I did like that there was a monument put in the name of IG in that market center, that market hub. At the center of it, at the crossroads of all these different alleyways, there was this giant metal sculpture to IG and his sacrifice of saving Navarro from the Empire last season. That was a cute little thing that they didn't draw attention to. It was just in your eye line in the background, and I like that. Oh man, this show does a lot of things really well. And again, I don't know what these soldiers are in this lineup, because just from this angle and this view, it doesn't look like these are stormtroopers. It doesn't look like these are the black armored troopers from the end of it. They look droid-like, almost Vader-like ish. I can't tell. Again, the quality and the atmosphere of this little hallway is it's obscuring it. So I'm not sure what these are. If any of you guys can recognize it, they have like these tubes going into their chest. I can't make it out. Let me know what you guys think these are. If you guys know, if you have ideas or theories, let me. I'd love to know, and because I'm just staring at it, because I've just had it frozen on that screen this entire time I've been talking. So, yeah. So what do you guys think? Are you on board with the cloning idea? Are they trying to clone or extend the life of a Force user? I think that's what they're doing. I think that's what they're trying to do. I think right now they are struggling to keep Palpatine alive in some form until they can perfect this process, because that seemed to be what the goal was. Do you think we're going to see some ties into the Sith fleet, the Sith Empire that is being constructed and built on Exegol, or do you think we're seeing the seeds of the First Order? Because those do appear to be, at least in the explanations given, separate things. There are some people in the First Order that are tied into the Sith fleet, but there are also a lot of First Order that have zero idea what's going on Exegol. They do seem to be two separate forces altogether. So who do you think Moff Gideon has his ties to? What if it's Maul again? Even though we know at the in Rebels that Obi-Wan put him down for good. What if it's Maul? What if what if Maul is still alive yet again? I don't know, guys. I'm just spitballing here. I am loving the journey. I'm loving the mystique. I'm loving the speculations that we can go through. I am hyped up. Next episode, I expect we're going to see Ahsoka finally, and he's leading Gideon there. Do we think we'll see Gideon face off against Ahsoka? Do you think we'll see Gideon follow them to Corvus in the next episode and touch down, have a darksaber on lightsaber duel between the two? Do you think Ezra's there? Do they think Sabine? Because last time we saw Ahsoka, she was with Sabine looking for Ezra. It's been 5 years. Did they find Ezra? Did they not? Is it just going to be Ahsoka? I can't wait, man. Dave Filoni's episode is next, and I'm excited. So, guys, what did you guys think of this episode? What are your speculations, your theories on the things that we've learned? Sound off in the comments. Let me know your thoughts so we can carry on the conversation after the video, guys. And always, I would really appreciate it if you like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. It's a lot of fun engaging with you guys, and we do these every week. Do a lot of other videos and coverage as well, as much as I can, given I do still work full time at a regular job. But I appreciate it a lot. This is my escape from the world, and I really enjoy it. And you guys help me out so much at just kind of keeping things going and keeping myself sane. Anyway, that's all I've got for this video, guys. Thank you again so much. May the Force be with you always. Take care, everybody.